All right, so today I'm going to talk to you about why my services are an altar and why your payment is an offering. So, if you do not know, I'm a brand strategist, spiritual doula. I go by the brand priestess. And although I am a brand strategist, I felt like it didn't fully encapsulate the depth of everything that I have to offer. And I felt like I was putting myself in a box that my natural excellence and skill I just felt like they weren't fit in to that box well. I just felt like it wasn't aligned. So although I am a strategist, I am not the kind of strategist that will give you a deliverable full of market research, messaging. Although those are things I still do, I always say that's the least of what I do. As a strategist, my specialty is alignment. Alignment in the energetics of the founder, of the company, down from the team to where they're sourcing their materials, in alignment with the vision that God has given you. And that requires identity expansion. It requires a process of death and rebirth. I made a video about what this process will look like. I'll link it down below. Being that this is what I guide my clients through, this requires a lot of risks and power moves. Hence why you need that process of death and rebirth. So on a surface level, I'm a brand strategist, and I bring my brand strategy expertise, my own personal methodologies and frameworks, and I use that to guide us through the process of realignment. But at the core of everything, at the core of all that I do, when you come into contact with me, when you join my newsletter, letters from my living room, when you enter into my secret group chat, which you can get access through my newsletter, link down below, when you enter into a container such as the Vision Revelation Intensive or the Actualized Brand Plan, whatever it is, what you're really doing is entering into an atmosphere that I cultivate and that I provide and that I have in my own journey paid for through my own death and rebirth process, through my own understanding and connection to God and source, through my own sacrifices. I cultivate it and I offer it to support you through this journey of death and rebirth. Because again, outside of everything that I do, I serve as your guide through this process because that's what alignment requires. So that's why I also like to call I have many titles, I have many names, but the brand priestess kind of just gives me a perfect encapsulation of it all. But I'll go through all the names that encapsulates the brand priestess. So I'm your spiritual doula. So not only are you being birthed into the version of your capacity that is required to lead your brand from misalignment to alignment, I'm also walking you through and guiding you through and supporting you through the process of putting your mask to death, of putting your old self to death. And that's a process of grieving. It's a process of grieving. And I have a few videos already that talk about grief and its function in sustaining your brain's realignment. That's actually the whole title of a video I put. If I remember, I'll put it linked below. Not only am I walking you through grief, not only am I walking and guiding you through this process of, I guess, shedding old identities and putting things to rest, I'm also literally going through death with you. Because remember, I am a brand strategist at the end of the day, right? But my focus is alignment. And to build an alignment means that you have to create meaning creating from who you are. And if the identity that you have latched yourself onto, or if you exist in proving energy, all those things can't carry you into that easeful transition from where you are right now, where you recognize that what I've built is not what God has given me, into full alignment with the vision that you know that you're supposed to be aligned with. It's a delicate process, and that's why I consider myself a spiritual doula. I'm also your alignment coach. Everything I do is for alignment. My support for you is for alignment. That is first and foremost. I will never advise you against your own vision. I would never advise you against what God has given you, what Spirit is telling you. I would never advise you against that. And it's my job to make sure that you are on board, not just on board, but aligned. And I keep up with that heavy. I also like to also consider myself a brand advocate. Think about it. How many people join your team or have you met who is in complete agreement with this vision, especially if you're trying to do something crazy or out the norm? How many times have you met somebody who can who hear what you're saying, like, this is what I feel like I need to do. Like, I know we've gotten this far, but what I'm feeling led to do is in this direction. How many people can support that or hold that vision with you? And so that's why I consider myself a brand advocate, because whether you're in a boardroom, you're coming up against an investor, or you have to navigate the social repercussions of realigning yourself, I will be right there to make sure that your brand stays advocated for, your vision is advocated for. So your brand vision advocate, that's how I serve. Also, your co-creative. Of course, I'll be helping you birth this vision in its entirety. Of course, priestess, your gatekeeper, because I also, depending on the service that you work with me, I also serve as someone who's like a set of eyes who can make sure that everything that comes into your brand, whether that's on the creative side or even just people working with you, are in alignment with what you are building. And then of course, your mirror and your initiator. Your mirror, because I am a mirror. You're going to see yourself in me, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. You're going to see it all, and that's necessary for tearing down the mask and also getting an outside perspective of your vision. There are so many founders who feel so isolated inside themselves, and then they just kind of dismiss the ideas that they have because they just can't make sense of it. That won't happen when you work with me, because my gift is being able to take the entire encapsulation of this vision that God has given you from what you're telling me and also what he's revealing to me, so that as we strategize together, it's clear and it's true to what you were seeing in your mind's eye. And then initiator is when you make your payment to come work with me, that is your initiation. That is a physical manifestation of you saying, I am building an alignment and this is it. There can be nothing else. So why do I consider my containers or my services an altar? Because the main reason I consider this is because I have created my business model, and every service that I have, at every price that I have, to hold the people that have been ordained to work with me. So I can't consider myself just, a typical business. Yes, it's transactional. That's what business is. But on a deeper level, I know that every person I have worked with or I'm going to work with, I have gotten direct confirmation of them. And the same is for them on their side too. They have been looking for me. They have been dreaming of me. They have been praying for a service like what I have to offer. And they have been praying for a strategist like myself. This is very spirit-led. This is very intuitive. My offers are portals. My containers are portals because it was so spiritually orchestrated. Coming into contact with me, my presence, my work, my energy is a portal. It's an initiation into this higher level of yourself. I want to make the point is that coming to work with me, yes, you're going to get strategy, but at the end of the day, you are coming into reclaiming your position as author and creator, true creator and authorship. And that requires steps, like intentional, conscious steps into those positions, which is why I consider it a portal. It's an altar because your identity is not just getting initiated, but you're getting access to my energy and my gifts. Like, yes, physically, I have created my own methodologies, my own frameworks. I have my own models for capitalism and business structures and everything. But underneath the surface, my energy, my field, my gifts, that is what separates me from everybody else. And I have worked for those things. I have labored for those things. Spiritually, I have paid the price for these things. Blood, sweat, and tears, time. I have gone through the humiliation. I have gone through the restless nights. Like, I have gone deep within myself. I have gone from hell and back to be able to navigate founders like yourself through a similar process, even if it doesn't look like my own, because we're all different, right? But this wisdom that I have, this energy that I have, the magnetism that I have, the ability to activate you even just through video alone, that was paid for. And because I know that my source is found in the ultimate source, I have priced my services to align with what it is to come work with me, but also as a way to physically give you the founder of a way to physically embody the significance of this transformation that we're about to go on. Like, this is a process, this is a journey. It's not something where you just come and say, oh, I need someone to make me a logo. I'm not a designer at all. I'm a strategist, both in a physical sense and a spiritual sense. And the work I do is heavy, which is why I work with so few founders a year. This is not a casual thing. Like, literally, you coming to work with me is you making a declaration on earth and in heaven saying that I am fully committed to materializing this thing that I have been given, this vision that I've been given for so long, and I'm committed to it and I'm convicted of it. And the payment that you pay is that offering into that reality. And me, as your priestess, as your guide, as your doula, we will be bringing that out in completeness, in wholeness, in integrity, in power, and clarity. So, the amount that you pay is a threshold, is a boundary, and it's an activator. I'm activating the energetic scaffolding that determines what kind of client or person or founder can even step into my field. So outside of what I've just mentioned, I created boundaries around myself to make sure that the people who come work with me are specifically aligned to work with me. And that's very important because I can't do my best work if I am drained or if I'm not honoring myself. And I've done that a lot before I got the clarity that I have now. I mean, for a long time, misalignment was my norm. I mean, that's how I grew up. I had a lot to learn, a lot of mistakes. And I have learned that it is an honoring of my energy and the investment of the founder woman who decides to work with me, or is called to work with me. Okay, so this is why even when you read my content on Threads, when you watch my videos, you don't leave the same. My words linger with you. You remember my face. You're activated, or even if it doesn't do any of that immediately, it'll come back to you. You're going to come back to my channel, guarantee, because my function is to activate you. And my content alone is to activate you. But working with me, it is the explosion of the activation that happened through your meeting of me in my content, like my YouTube videos here already. I always say my videos specifically, if you watch enough of my videos, you're going to be recalibrated to such a degree that if you weren't ready to work with me 6 months ago, you will be today. My goal for whatever touch point access you have to me is to put you in the path of alignment. It has just been, I personally think that so many of us just struggle unnecessarily, especially when you're spiritual and you're connected and you're chosen ancestrally and also ordained in the heavens. Life is just so much harder. I just want you all to understand like how imperative your impact is. Like, we are in a contraction phase in Earth right now. Things look really bad right now, but I can't be worried, and I don't want to spread fear to you because I know that we are ushering in a new way of being and doing things. And so many of you have been going through what you've been going through, have been building what you've been building because it's time and it's necessary. So if you get nothing from me, and if you never come into any higher work with me, I just need you to understand that your alignment is not like a fun, frivolous thing that you can just brag about. It is not about that. This is about your bloodline. It's about the collective. And this is about you and your own actualization. And I believe you deserve that. I believe you deserve to walk in the highest capacity of yourself because that changes things. I believe that sometimes we think like impact is just, what Obama did. And what he and his family have endured and gone through and come out unscathed by, that is impact. Like, just having a Black president in my lifetime changed me. It really did. So that's not to diminish what they have done, but we always think of impact in that way. But impact is also in your energy, in your field. Like so many women, like they have contradictions in their energy where they're like, I want to build this, what God is showing me, but I'm also going to prove my way to it. You see that contradiction? And I have several videos about proving energy and about that topic and content on my threads and my community posts. You can check back there if you want to find it. I don't remember where it was, but you'll find it. But my point is that this vision that you have is necessary. This itch that you have to switch things up in the company that you've already built is necessary. Your hesitation to taking that investment, your hesitation to selling your company, all those things, pay attention. They're necessary because you would not have been here if you did not already know that your alignment was imperative. No matter how small it seems, or no matter how far along you've already gotten and you think it might be such a hassle, reconsider, think about it. And of course, for the women who have found themselves in the words, who have felt aligned with everything that I've been saying, there are opportunities to work with me, of course, to figure out what the best next step for you is. DM me on Instagram at the Brand Priestess, or you can email me at naomiolutayo at thebrandpriestess.co, not com, co, because the other domain name was stolen. That's okay, we're gonna get it eventually. But if you want to work with me, contact me through there. If not, if you're not ready or you don't feel like you've gotten to that level of conviction or commitment, I created my newsletter, Letters from My Living Room, specifically for you. In there, you'll find founder activations, you'll find strategy, wisdom, just different things, like a deeper side of me than what I bring here, just because it's a little bit more, contained. But if you're interested, all the links for that will be down below. So will my Instagram and my email. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll be posting every single day this September, so I have about 2 weeks left. If you want to be notified when I upload my next video tomorrow and the next day, make sure you hit the bell and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.